Well, what a beautiful day it is today. Thanksgiving Day. October 15th, I think. No, October 14th. We're supposed to hit 24 degrees Celsius today, and we're already at least 20. And autumn colors are in full swing. In fact, a lot of the leaves have already dropped. In years past, we would usually be at this stage 2 or 3 weeks ago, but we've had a really warm summer. A lot of rain back in June, but not much through July or August. But we've had a little bit lately. I am going to do my regular routine and climb those stairs to the top of the cliff of Scotsman's Hill. But yeah, it's beautiful. I wish this weather would last, but from what I'm told, we're going to transition slowly into single digits. So it won't be these balmy plus 20 temperatures. Might see 10 degrees. And I'll probably do an edit when I get to the top of the hill. So I'm on top Scotsman's Hill. I met a couple of people, one lady and her family from Brandon, Manitoba, and another couple from Winnipeg, and I guess they're attending a horse show or something happening inside one of the buildings down there, and their family have horses entered in this competition, so there's something going on there today. Wow, you got a clear shot of the mountains too. Fairly clear. Look at that, eh? Nice. Stand up. Wow, you can see where they've started the construction for the new Calgary Flames hockey arena. I think it's also going to be called Scotia Centre after Scotia Bank. I guess they're the ones sponsoring, or they've had their name on this Scotia Saddledome for at least 15-20 years now. I'll just do I'll do a 360 shot. Yeah, what a beautiful morning. The sun is right in my face. So just looking back to where I was seated, which is just in behind there along the cliff, that's Salisbury Avenue over there, and this is Ramsay Street and Burns Avenue. So we are in the district of Ramsay, and I lived here for many years in this area. We still have the tennis courts and hockey arena over there. Beautiful day. I've said that 3 times. Anyway, I like a lot of the older homes that are still here. Of course, the ones along the cliff over there are huge. This one here with that spire, that's sort of being an add-on. I love that little bungalow on the corner. There's a few infills, as you've seen to my left there, that big one with the top patio. That's nice, but sort of out of character for the neighborhood. And yeah, Ramsay is a big inner city neighborhood. To the east of it, as you can see straight ahead, is quite industrial. Canada Malting is over there. There was also some Canada Packers used to be there, a lot of industry. Also, one of the major liquor distilleries, I forget what they were called, is down there too. So I am gonna walk down to the bottom of this hill, which is, I'm gonna do a shoot back and see if I can see downtown. Yeah, there's the Calgary Tower. Geez, when I lived here, none of that was visible. The only thing you could see was the Calgary Tower. The other buildings didn't exist. Wow. Straight ahead of me is Spiller Road, or 8th Street as it is also known. Yeah, and over there is I misspoke, it's not an arena, it's an outdoor rink with a canopy. You can kind of make it out over there. I used to play hockey there a lot, just shinny. And the one thing about that canopy was good to keep the snow off, but it would keep the warmth. And the ice would always melt a lot quicker because of that canopy, the outdoor ice. So we would sometimes opt for the other outdoor rink in Inglewood, which is just an adjacent community. And that rink didn't have a cover. So yeah, that's the downside of that canopy on the rink, is that it would melt the ice. Alexander Street. Yeah, it's a really nice inner city community here, Ramsey. I think a lot of the homes go back to early 1900s. There's some as early as, 1903, 1905. Most of these up here, I would say, were post-war, late 1940s, I would hazard to guess. Yeah. So still walking through Ramsey. I'm at the corner of 20th Avenue and 9th Street. And I used to live, that's a newer infill. I used to live in this house on the corner. Now I rented the main floor, which also included the upper suite, bedroom and bathroom. Bedroom is upstairs. But for a while I lived in the basement suite, which was all redeveloped and it was quite nice. And then I moved up to the upper floor. There used to be windows here. There's still a window there, which would have been kind of like the living room, kitchen. Fence is all different. They tore down the old garage. Yeah, that's a newer garage. And my little convenience store is still there, or maybe it's closed. I heard rumors they might be closing it. And Mary Kim and Duck Kim, they were the owners. Duck, or Doug, he passed away. They were a Korean couple and they raised their whole family there. I think Doug passed away maybe 3 years ago. I was in there 6 months ago talking with Mary Kim, and that's where they did the shoot for Heritage Minutes for Normie Kwong, who is a Edmonton and Calgary figurehead kind of politician, played sports, played CFL football, and they did the shoot in there to use as a setting or backdrop. But to me, that looks totally closed. Wow. Although there's a van parked there. And up that way is Scotsman's Hill again. Up there. Yeah, as you can see, a lot of older homes here. There's an infill right in the center of my frame. A friend of mine used to have a house there, a little tiny cottage style house. But that's long gone. And this is 18th Avenue. I used to live on the left side here, a couple of houses that I'd rented years ago. I think during my 20s, my 30s, I did a lot of partying. So I was renting a lot of properties. Live in one for a couple of years, move to the next. But I have a lot of great memories of this neighborhood. In some ways it looks the same, in other ways much different, just with in terms of the trees, how much they've grown, and some houses are gone, some are infills. On the corner coming up used to be another convenience store. It was also a hardware store a long time ago. And they've gone and put a hardware sign on there, kind of, even though it isn't anymore. It looks like rentals. I think that was Cooper's store. There's another one to my right up here. That might have been Cooper's. I always forget which. And there's more of the downtown skyline that was never visible from here before. With the exception of that brown building in the middle, Petro-Canada Tower, that would have been visible. And the big pink house on the corner. Yeah, it's just interesting revisiting this. And I lived in a house up here on the corner, that big greenhouse on the corner, and then another house in the cul-de-sac there. Huh. And I actually did live in this building. Back in the day, there was a man killed. A big hot air balloon hit this utility pole and blew up the transformer, and he fell to the ground burning. He died. It made the national news. There's some footage on YouTube. And I believe there's still a plaque on one of these posts. If it wasn't this utility pole, it was the one to my right. But they used to have a plaque with his name. Not anymore. Maybe it's up here. These are two infills. There used to be two tiny twin bungalows sitting here. Is it this pole? No. Wow, if you were to have just plopped me here, I would never know that I'm in Inglewood. Just none of these buildings existed when I used to live here. 9th Avenue was just a bunch of old historic kind of, some of them dilapidated, but now you've got all these new condos through this whole stretch with commercial space. So it's really quite something what they've done. And not just this stretch of 9th Avenue in Inglewood, but if you go further up, they've kind of duplicated the same thing a couple of blocks up with more modern buildings like this, which is nice. Sort of a gentrification of Inglewood, but nothing lasts forever, right? Beautiful day in Calgary. 24 degrees Celsius right now. Thanksgiving Day. I'm just sitting along the banks of the Elbow River. There's part of the Saddle Dome there. It's a nice grassy area here, as you can see. But I've just got my jacket crumpled up as a pillow and laying on my back, enjoying what's left of our beautiful weather. You can probably see Scotsman's Hill back there. I'm not sure. I'm just tilting the camera back. But it's so peaceful here. This is just basically where I'm sitting. And back this way is Scotsman's Hill. Scotsman's Hill over there. And Nice autumn colors along the cliff. And earlier today I was sitting up about there on a bench on the top of that cliff. So this is something really cool that I found at a little vintage store today. It's an old Viewmaster. I think it's from 1948, 1950 this one was produced. Whoops, and the Viewmaster slides that came with it. Some of them have the original envelopes. Fully functional. It even has the little manual inside. But this is the kind my dad had when he was a kid and that I had, but neither of us know where the original one went, so I picked this up today at a little vintage store. So I'm going to lay back on the banks of the Elbow River and look at some of these Viewmaster slides.